right, hello. I am just checking back in. Went for eye surgery on Monday. It was a corneal cross-linking procedure to treat my keratoconus. I have a moderate to advanced case. Fun. And we treated my left eye. As you can see, it's less red than yesterday and the day before, which is great. I still have the bandage contact in. Haven't had any issues. Still a bit swollen. You can tell because it looks like my eye's practically closed compared to the other eye, which is wide open. That should change as the swelling goes down. I've been taking a steroid drop for the inflammation, and I've been taking a set of like antibiotic drops that are meant to help prevent any infection. So we're keeping it clean. I decided to recover in a hotel space for the first few days just to like give myself a little bit of a break and ease my way into getting back home. This worked really well for me when I did my Achilles tendon surgery, so I thought I'd do it again. I'm really glad that I did because it has been working really well so far. It's very calm right now, so I thought I'd check in with you all and let you know how things are going. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I still wear these. Like I should be wearing them right now because I have the light right over there and it's pretty bright. And it's much more comfortable with these on. But yeah, I just wanted to say hello. And again, I noticed that people talk about corneal cross-linking surgery, but there aren't too many people who have posted their post-operative experience and what that is like. Taking the drops every single day, 4 times a day for each of the drops, plus taking these artificial tears is a lot. But you know what? Maybe I can show you what it is that I've been using that have been like really helpful in the recovery. So I've been drinking lots of water. Hi, William. No, I'm not depressed. I just had eye surgery. So I'm checking in after my eye surgery. I had a corneal cross-linking procedure, which is meant to treat my keratoconus. I have a moderate to advanced case. And basically, corneal cross-linking just strengthens the fibers that keep my eye in one piece. Yes, I will. Thank you so much for checking in. I really appreciate that so much. I just thought I'd show what this is like because I noticed that like there are a lot of people who post about eye care, but not a lot of people who post about post-surgery. Hi, Nazel. If you want to subscribe, feel free to. I'd love it to have you join me, but if not, that's also okay. You know, this is like an organically growing channel, so if you want to join, you're more than welcome to. I'm just posting about like my day-to-day transitions and transformations. Hi, Armin. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? Thank you so much for joining, Nazel. I'm so excited to have you with me. And this is The Spinning Mama for those of you who are brand new, never been here. I post all about transformation. And in December, I found out I have a pretty big issue with my eyes. So I didn't know about it until December. And it's been affecting me my whole life. I've had this progressive corneal disease that's caused permanent vision loss over the years. And I just didn't know what it was. So my friend introduced me to what keratoconus is because they were going through it. And I've been walking with them through their experience. And then I found out I also have keratoconus, so which is, you know, kind of crazy because it's a fairly uncommon condition. Not totally super rare, but you don't run into somebody every single day who has it. And so, you know, for us to be close friends was pretty cool. And so they were teaching me about their case and their situation, and they've been through so much. So when it was my turn, it was amazing to have them be there as support and to be supportive of them. And like, we've just been going back and forth about our experiences. Thank you, Nazelle. I hope you have a wonderful day. And yes, it's going to be okay. So yeah, these are my steroid eye drops. I take these 4 times a day, and I will be taking these for about a month because of the cross-linking surgery. So that's just something to be aware of if you're thinking about this, that you do have to take these for a long time. And you taper off of those. And then this is my antibiotic. And I take these also 4 times a day for a week. Happy birthday, Spoonia. Happy birthday. So yeah, the antibacterial drops are a lot shorter term, which is nice because it's a lot to keep track of. So I'm actually going to take these probably on camera. Why not? I'll show you what it looks like. And then they gave me these artificial tears at the end of my procedure. And these are really great because they're very lubricating and they're very moisturizing. And your eye feels really like, not itchy, but like you feel almost like there's something in your eye. And it's can be a lot of sensation, especially if you're not a big fan of that like me. And so these drops look like this. They come in individual containers like this, and you just drop them straight into your eye. It takes about 5 minutes per drop for these in between because you don't want to wash them out. So I do this drop first, right? No, I do this drop first, and then I wait 5 minutes, and then I do this drop, and then I wait 5 minutes, and then I can do these drops. And when I'm not using the Sustain, I have these Lacropure, which look like this. And these are kind of the fillers that you use for a scleral lens, but they're also perfect for post-op. And since I can't use my scleral lenses anyway, I'll be doing that. And then at the very end of the night, I use this tape and this eye shield for 7 days. And basically, I just cover my eye like this. And then my niece helps me to tape over the areas that need to stick to my face. And then I use a sleeping mask just to help my daughter, like, not get too nervous, because, like, it's a little bit scary to see your mom with one of these. My daughter's too. Like, so if she sees this with a bunch of tape, she can get uncomfortable and, like, nervous. So I put this on over my eyes. Just like this. So I put this on over the shield, and that's really it. So yeah, I wanted to share this again because I feel like there are a lot of doctors who post about corneal cross-linking being like a minimally invasive procedure. People talk about what their experience was like after they've had it, but I wanted to document what my experience is while it's happening more live so that folks can get like the true experience of what it's like. And so, you know, I feel like it's one thing to talk about the experience and it's a totally other thing to kind of show it. So I wanted you all to have the opportunity to really get a good look at what this is like up close and personal. And I did have some pain medicine for this as well. I've only been taking it at night because it does get a bit uncomfortable when it's time to sleep. So it just helps me to drift off into sleep comfortably, and then I wake up feeling much, much, much better. Yeah. So I just set up my little station here. I'll put my shield down over there. And I already have my dropper out. This here. And I'll show you, like, the footprint for everything is really small. So you only need a little desk to make this work. So these I can just pop over here. And what I'll do is I'll show you what everything looks like all together. Let's move that stuff out of the way. Oh, and what's great is when you come out of the doctor's, if you're looking for this type of procedure, they'll give you a schedule that you can check off that shows you which thing to take and then what to do. So as you can see, like my eye shield at bedtime until the 7th day here. Then here again, we have another one that's 7 days long. This one is the antibiotic. And then as you can see, here's the tapering off for the steroid where it's 4 times a day for 2 weeks. And then 3 times a day for 1 week, 2 times a day for 1 week, 1 time a day for 1 week, and then stop at 35 days. So that's a really long one. And then this here, you can take the artificial tears pretty much as long as you want for as long as it's comfortable and helpful to you, which is pretty great. Like I said, I wear these even inside because this light can get pretty intense for me. My eyes were already sensitive to light before, thanks to the keratoconus. I didn't even know that that's why. But my eyes have always been sensitive to the light, and now at least I have a good reason for that. And so I like to wear these just to make it a little easier on myself. And also it makes it so I can open my eyes more, because the other thing is I also keep my eye closed for the most part, and I can already feel it watering up now. So I'm sure after I put these drops in, it's gonna water up pretty bad. And that's okay, it's just a part of the deal. But I wanted you all to actually see what it looks like, so. Oop. Before the drops, this is what my eye looks like. So you can see it's clearing up quite a bit. There's still some swelling you can see here under my lid. But that's what we're dealing with here. And so you shake this up just so that the solution kind of carries all of the medicine equally. So you shake this one, this is the steroid. And then to apply this, I pull my eyelid down like this, and then I'm gonna put the dropper in. That's weird, it kind of got stuck. Try again. Perfect. Okay, so now that I've got the drop in, I'm just gonna hold my eye closed for 5 minutes. And right now, let's see, that'll mean at 6:54, I can open my eye. And I just sit like this for 5 minutes. And without any cutting, this is really the amount of time it takes. So you'll see the real routine. I do this 4 times a day. So it's a pretty significant time commitment. right? Because you do have to wait 5 minutes between each of the drops. You can do less time, but it's better for your eye, like, to absorb all the medicine, to give it a little bit more time. So I like to give it the full 5 minutes. I'm not in a rush. I took off work. Like, this is just to make sure that at the end of the day, the surgery that I put in that time and effort and money to get is going to actually pay off at the end of the day. So this is going to sit on my eye. I actually am closing it nice and tight so that that little drainage doesn't like take all the medicine out of my eye. So I'm keeping that nice and tight, but I can already feel the watering happening. The prednisolone is very, like, I don't know, caustic is the wrong word, but it like makes my eyes water pretty bad. I'm not a huge fan, but it doesn't like burn like crazy when you put it in. It's more like after a little while, you start to feel your eye get a little annoyed, and you can kind of feel like the angry, like kind of pulsing and such. So it's one of those medicines that I'm not a huge fan of. But you know, you gotta take it because it's good for you or whatever. That's what they say. And it's really important to prevent having too much inflammation after the surgery, because like if you go back to my older videos from this week, like on Monday or Tuesday, I think might be the most recent post. But if you go back even yesterday, you will see that I have like much more inflammation, and like this steroid drop is really doing a lot of work. So even if it feels like it's not that big, or if it feels like it's not that big of a deal, it is. Take your drops. I'm not a doctor, but I know that, like, just from my own experience of taking these, like, I've seen how much inflammation has come down as a result. And I watched my surgery. I did not take any medicine other than the numbing drops. So I was very conscious of my surgery while it was happening. Hello. Who do we have here? Hi, Joshua. Good to see you. It's been a while. I had eye surgery, so that's why I have my eye closed. I'm okay. I'm just like holding in the medicine for another couple of minutes. I have been all over the place, but most recently, I found out that I have this like sort of rare corneal disease that is a progressive condition that has like kind of a permanent effect on my vision. So I've been losing my vision over the last few years. I would say like probably the last 20 years, at least, and possibly more. And I just learned about it. It's called keratoconus. So the nice dome shape of my cornea that I maybe was born with has been slowly turning into a cone over time. And with it, I have been losing the ability to see clearly. And I've had this irregular astigmatism developing over the last few decades. I'm 34, so it's been a really rough time of just feeling like I can't see more and more and more. But I am getting the treatment that I need through this corneal cross-linking, which has made a huge difference. It's not making it so I can see again, like I said, that's permanent. But what it is doing is it's giving me the opportunity to have a stable condition so it won't get any worse, which is very important because the vision loss that you lose is permanent. So you don't want to lose vision. You want to preserve your vision as much as humanly possible. Let's see. Thank you, Joshua. I appreciate your prayers. And yeah, it's like, thankfully, keratoconus doesn't like hurt every day. It's more like the light hurts my eyes, and like I see more blurry, and things are harder to see from far away, that kind of thing. So it's not like thank goodness it's not something that hurts really bad. It's just something that makes it very hard to navigate some things day to day. But yeah, I'm doing much better than the first day of my surgery, and even better than the second day after my surgery. So, you know, step by step, we're getting there, which is great. Okay, so this is my eye after taking the steroid drop. As you can see, like I'm trying to open my eyes as much as possible, and you can see I'm raising my eyebrow, but only, yeah, I have to like really push to open my left eye more. Once the swelling goes down, it'll look a little bit more normal, and like that reddening is actually from the drops. So they're not really soothing. They are doing work, but it does make my eye feel like not the best. All right, so now I take, and I'm actually gonna put these back in the box because that's how I keep track of what I've taken. So this is what I just took, and this goes back in the box. And I have to wash my lashes a little bit more intentionally because the prednisolone is, it's like kind of gunky, and it like gets caught up on my lashes. So I do have to wash my lashes a little bit more, which is kind of annoying, but it's not that bad. Okay, so now is the gatafloxacin, and this is the antibiotic drop. So again, it's just shake, shake, shake until it mixes all together. Once I've gotten it all shaken up, I take this here, and it's just another dropper in the eye. So I pull my lid down here. Try that again. There we go. And then again, just hold it nice and tight. And that is going to keep the medicine from draining out. So that's gonna go for a little bit. Again, I'm just gonna hold it for another 5 minutes. And I can talk to you in the meantime. I will say that the surgery was the scariest thing I've done because I could see everything that the doctor was doing. I've never been able to like not close my eyes. Like I've never been forced to keep my eyes open for so long. And so there's just a mental aspect of that where I wanted not to think, or I wanted not to feel what I was going through, like psychologically, and I wanted to kind of zone out. And so whenever I needed to zone out, I would just think about music, or I would start talking, or like just distract myself with little things here and there. And that made a huge difference because like when you can't close your eyes, you really do see everything that's happening around. Like even if you're looking in one place, when your eye is all the way held open, you just see everything around you in this very specific way. And you can't really turn it off unless you close your eye. And well, I couldn't close mine. So I had my right eye kind of taped shut and my left eye was wide open, which was just a bit nerve-wracking, but it was okay at the end of the day. But I will say, like, I had been shaking from just the experience of it. It truly was like one of the scariest things I've ever done. Was like having my eye open and like seeing someone like scrape the epithelium off of my eye, and then watching them rub that epithelium away with a sponge. And then they did the eye drops for the riboflavin medicine. And then I kind of just sat there with like an eye bath of sorts where they just like let that kind of soak in until it fully saturated all of the layers of my cornea. And then they did more drops over the course of like every 2 minutes. Then I went under a light for a half an hour, and they did the drops every 5 minutes. And like my surgeon was awesome. She talked me through it. She helped distract me. She encouraged me to take the relaxation medicine if I needed to. I just didn't want to because I wanted to be able to nurse my daughter. So I was trying to keep the medicine that I was going to take to a minimum, and I wanted to be able to take the pain medicine later. And I didn't want to take both because that just seemed like a little bit too much. Hey, honey. And so, yeah, I was just... What am I doing here? I'm doing my eyes. Where's Destiny?
No.
No. Where are your pants? Where are your pants, little one?
It's right there. It's right there in the back. In your body. Right there?
Yeah. And this little one has been my bestie the whole time, but what's hard is that... Hi. What's hard is that I can't pick her up, and she wants me to. She wants to touch everything, and she can't touch everything. So it's a little bit frustrating for her because I'll have to move things. I have to put it on my eye to protect it, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have to protect the eyes.
Protect the eye.
Exactly.
Protect it?
Yeah, we protect the eyes.
Protect our eyes?
Yes, we protect our eyes.
Milky.
No milk. Not yet, sweetie. Okay.
Milky.
So yeah, this whole process.
Milky.
Here, sweetie. Ooh. So this whole process takes about 10 minutes of just putting the medicated drops in. And then after that, I do these artificial tears as well. Stop it. I know. So then I do the artificial tears. This one, again, is the Systane Pro PF, which is preservative-free. Basically, it's a buffered, preservative-free option. And thanks for the hearts. That's so sweet. It's a buffered, preservative-free option out of the artificial tear, like, I guess, selection, like, of products you can use. I like them. They're very, like, luxurious and smooth feeling. I also like my Lacquer Pure, which I use to fill my scleral lenses, and it's pretty comfortable for that. Let's see, where can I put you guys? I'm just gonna wait a couple of minutes.
Couple on it?
Mm-hmm.
Couple on it?
Couple minutes.
Milky.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so as you can see, like, there's still that reddening of the eye. I love you. So yeah, there's still the reddening of the eye, but it's looking a lot better, which is good. And so for these artificial tears, I'm just gonna go like this and then drop these in next. Ugh. And it feels just really nice. It's a very like comfortable sensation after all of those other drops that like really don't feel so great. It's just nice. It's like a cool breath of fresh air, but for your eye. So it definitely feels a lot better. So I give that just a couple of minutes. I'm gonna do some more drops just because it feels wonderful to have them on. And then once I'm done with the drops for the night, And these are my last drops for the night. Once I'm done putting all of these in, then I will tape the cover that I showed you guys earlier to my face, and I'll show you how I do that. So I'm gonna just do another couple of drops. Okay, there we go. And I do these artificial teardrops because I get that redness down. I keep that sensation that there's something in my eye down, which makes it more tolerable for me. But it does get a little bit uncomfortable, not gonna lie. A little more than a little uncomfortable. So I take this here, and this is the, that didn't really help too much because it's clear. It's actually beautifully clear. But I take this and I put it here on my eye, and this goes up to the bridge on my nose, and everything else sort of touches in the natural part. So on my orbital, on my cheekbone, and right here on my nose, on the bridge of my nose. And it's great. I have two, one as a backup because I have a 2-year-old. You never know where things will end up. And so I'm going to take this tape oh, and you know what? I actually need the other one anyway. Either that or to dry this off. So I got my my eye kind of like spilled over onto it. So the eye shield is just so that I don't rub my eye at night, and it keeps my daughter off my eye too. So sometimes I use it during the day. And I just do like this. And then I'll do the bottom section. And I'll press that down here. Okay, and then I'm gonna do across the bottom here as well. And as you can see my eye through it. And I can see you through it. Barely, but I can see you there. And that's really it. I might do just one more tiny piece on the corner because my daughter does get a little rough with me. There we go. And then before sleep, I just go like this and I'm done. And when it's time for sleep, I just pull this mask over like this, and that's it. She doesn't get through, and it doesn't like cause any like visual issues. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I don't know if anyone had any questions, but like I said, I really was just doing this for anyone else with keratoconus or somebody who might need corneal cross-linking due to maybe corneal ectasia after LASIK. But anything that thins out your cornea and makes it so that you are unable to go about your day normally. I hope that this video is helpful if you do find yourself needing cross-linking at any point. It can be a scary thing, and I think that there need to be more people who share their story and show, their routines. This took me about 30 minutes, and that's with like, my real life, stopping to nurse my daughter, doing the drops, and like talking to you all. But even when I'm not talking to you all, it takes about 30 minutes, all in all, because then, I put this on, and then I try to drift off to sleep shortly after. And I know it's a little early for sleep, but I wanted to do this before I got tired so that you all could really see what it looks like. And if I got lucky and met someone else who's dealing with keratoconus, then that would be all the better, because I could show you and share with you my journey and hopefully give you some support as you go through yours. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna be here doing this healing thing for a little while, and then I'm gonna go home and continue to rest up. Hopefully get cleared to drive soon, because I do miss being able to do that. And I'm mostly use my right eye anyway, so I probably could drive as soon as it doesn't like hurt to have my eyes open, which probably, will, God willing, it'll be tomorrow. The first 72 hours are kind of the toughest. Or I guess it's really the first 48 hours are really the toughest, but sometimes it can be 72. And so, yeah, I'm almost done with the hard part of like the pain. And then it's just having this routine day in and day out until my cornea has had a chance to fully heal. But this process is more than 35 days. Honestly, I'm not going to get my full vision back probably until, what month is it? February. So probably won't be able to see fully until May, that's a hard thing to accept, that like it'll take until maybe May for my vision to like chill out and for me to see like what my new vision will be like. But hopefully it won't be any worse, because the goal really is for there to be no difference as far as like what I was seeing like before versus after. The real goal is to stop the progression of the disease. And it's a quiet disease. It's not something that you wouldn't know you had unless somebody really checked you out. So the other thing is, I would say, get checked regularly by an ophthalmologist or by a a diagnosing optometrist, but definitely find somebody who is able to look for these kinds of conditions, because it's not worth your vision to lose. It's not worth the permanent, impact. So get that support early if you can. I really wish I had, but the least thing I can do is just come to you guys and tell you what my experience has been like, and hopefully stop you all from having to face down something so scary alone, and hopefully save you all the heartache of, vision loss. Permanent vision loss sucks. And I didn't even know it was happening to me. So I went from not knowing it was happening to finding out a lot was lost. And that's hard for me to swallow. But, I am taking it day by day. And I'm grateful to you all that I get to do it with you all as my company. So, yeah. I hope that to those of you who've joined, I will see you real soon in the next one. Umoja Life School. If you don't mind my asking what happened to your eye, I don't mind you asking at all. So I have keratoconus, and I went to have a corneal cross-linking surgery that is meant to strengthen the fibers of the bond, or basically strengthen the bonds between the collagen in my eye, using a riboflavin medication and UV light. So to do it, they have to scrape off the epithelium, which is why I have this cover on my eye just to protect it so I don't rub my eye. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I had surgery. And I love that name, Umoja Life. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I just appreciate you all being here and supporting me through this process. I'm grateful to... Oh, Bill. Hey, Bill. I always am posting, bits and pieces of my transformation. This is just another part of my transformation in my life. And so I want to make sure that I share it with you all. Even though, none of us saw it coming. I was doing my weight loss journey before and showing you all my increase in strength and, flexibility and all this stuff. So it definitely took a turn that I wasn't expecting, and I would imagine none of you were expecting either. But yeah, here we are. And I'll be back, because like I said, I look like your mom. Oh boy. Well, I guess lucky us that we get to look alike. But yeah, hopefully I will see you all tomorrow. I'll be back just to share any updates about the procedure and how it feels. But yeah, right now it just feels like I've got sand in my eye, and it's a little bit hot, a little bit uncomfortable. So I am going to close my eye, and give my eye some rest, use my sunglasses again. And I will be back tomorrow to share any updates and any changes as they come up. But for now, I hope that you are happy, healthy, and whole. Take care of yourself, and if you are able to let someone take care of you, please do. Oh, hi. Hi, Kirsty. I'm okay. Yeah. I had eye surgery, a corneal cross-linking procedure, where they rubbed off the epithelial layer of my cornea, and then I got a bunch of medicine dropped in there, and then they use UV light to strengthen the bonds in my cornea between the collagen kind of strands that keep the cornea strong. So it was just to stiffen that and keep me nice and strong after. I have a condition called keratoconus, which is a progressive corneal disease that slowly deforms my cornea and makes it more of a cone shape instead of like a dome. And yeah, I'm just learning to live with it now. It's a very new thing to me, even though it's been affecting me my whole life. But I'm okay. This is just me checking in after my surgery, and sharing with you all the process and what it's like, what it's been like, and how it's all going. Yeah. Thank you so much, Kirsty. I really appreciate that, and God bless you as well. I hope that if you have found the vibes here to be good vibes, that you will subscribe and hang out with me. I am going to keep checking in and letting you know how things are going. But yeah, this is the process. And I'm really doing this because I hope that other people who are going through keratoconus won't feel like they're doing it alone, and they'll know there's someone real who's like posting all these experiences, so that hopefully it'll be helpful to you all in the end. Or if you know someone who's going through this, you could share this with them, so that they know what cross-linking is like. Or even if it's somebody who has corneal ectasia after a LASIK surgery, again, you can share this with them and they will know what cross-linking is and what it feels like, from a patient perspective. Because I think it's one thing to know what cross-linking is medically, and it's another thing to be the patient, and to go through cross-linking, as like just a lay person. So yeah, thank you for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you tomorrow. If you're new, don't be shy. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to. Oh, thanks, Kirsty. I'm so glad. I'm so excited to have you here. And I can't wait to share with you like how things are going. I try to come on pretty regularly, especially when there's something to talk about. But if you know anyone who's going through this, or who has corneal ectasia, or who's like gonna have corneal cross-linking surgery, then definitely send them my way, because I'm trying to share my experience so that other people can make it, and not just an informed decision based on what the doctors say, which obviously is the most important, but also so that they can prepare emotionally and mentally, because as much as they want to say, oh, it's no big deal, going through the corneal cross-linking surgery for me, I did it sober. It was very scary. It wasn't painful, but it was very scary. And so being aware, that it is a lot psychologically is just important. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna see you real soon, most likely tomorrow. If I don't, it's just because I got really, really sleepy. But I will see you really, really soon. Yes, Kirsty, spread that kindness, spread it all around. We need it. We need it more than ever, I would say. So I'm just glad to have the good fortune of attracting someone like you who is honestly committed to like making this world a better place. I share that feeling as well. I want this world to be, a truly beautiful place for people, in a space where we all can exist and be happy, healthy, and whole, and all that good stuff. So yes, let's spread it all around. Spread it far and wide. I am gonna lay down and close my eye. Like, even as I'm talking to you, like my eye has been going lower and lower and lower, just because it does hurt, to keep my eye open. But I will see you tomorrow, hopefully. And thank you for hanging out with me. I hope that you all are well, whether it's day or night. Enjoy the rest of yours. And yeah, I'll see you soon.